Let's shop my stash part 2, but with a twist. My name is Sarah and my channel is knottygnome Crafts. My channel is all about sewing and styling a handmade wardrobe. I did a video a few weeks ago where I pulled pieces of fabric from my stash and tried to match them up with spring patterns, and you guys really seemed to enjoy that video and many of you requested a part 2. So I'm bringing it to you today, but I have a little bit of a theme this time. This time I'm going to do all 90s inspired fashion. I'm a woman in my 40s and I was a teenager in the 90s, so I have a soft spot in my heart for 90s fashion. And so I've pulled 10 more fabrics from my stash, and I have paired them with patterns that, although inspired by the 90s, these are all patterns that are available today. So we're not going to be doing vintage patterns. All of these are ones that you can purchase online or in a store and make your own version, but it is a throwback style-wise to the 90s. So let's start with dresses. You can't have 90s inspired fashion without a slip dress, so the pattern that I have chosen is the Friday Pattern Company Saltwater Slip Dress, which comes in sizes extra small up to 7XL. The fabric that I pulled from my stash is this floral silk charmeuse. I bought this from Fabric Mart probably like 12 years ago. I'm sure I bought it on a deep discount, and I've never cut into it because I have worked with silk charmeuse once before and I found it kind of a nightmare, to be honest. So I haven't wanted to cut into any more ever since then, but maybe I could be a little bit brave. I do think that this would make a gorgeous slip dress, and if we're going with the true 90s inspired, you could do either the mini or the midi length, but I would probably go for the mini length in this. And then bonus points if you wore it over a tight-fitting t-shirt, it would be extra 90s. So the other dress that I have for you is the True Bias Shelby, which comes in sizes 0 to 18. And the fabric that I've picked is this ditzy floral print. It has a black background, and then it has these gorgeous little flowers in leaves with mustard tones, coral, and lilac. I just think that it's so beautiful. It has incredible drape, and it would be really beautiful as the Shelby with those princess seams and the buttons down the front. It's just a very, very 90s inspired dress. The Shelby dress comes with both 2 different dress lengths and rompers. I would probably go for the mini dress. I think that that's the most classic 90s look. Next up is a pair of overalls. I have the Quick Sew pattern 3897. It comes in sizes extra small up to 2XL. And I have this black Mind the Maker denim. This is a poly cotton blend. It's mostly cotton, and I think it's a 10-ounce denim. There's no stretch. I think that this classic black would make a really cute pair of overalls. And if you wore it with a tight-fitting t-shirt underneath, it would be very 90s inspired, and for a bonus point, you could wear one of the buckles unbuckled and just hanging, because that's how we wore it in the 90s, because that seemed cool for some reason. I don't think I would do that, but I do think that a pair of overalls would be really cute. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up, because it helps more people find my channel. Thank you. When I was looking up 90s fashion online, just to refresh my memory, one style that kept popping up over and over again was a mock Ribneck rib turtleneck that was sleeveless, and I do remember that we used to wear those all the time. It was a great layering piece. You could layer it under your slip dress or your overalls, or just wear it on its own with jeans. They were often cropped. So the pattern that I've chosen for this is the True Bias Nico top, the sleeveless version, and the fabric that I pulled out is this sort of a peacock green color from Fabric Mart. It's showing up a little bit more blue on screen. It's a little bit more on the green side in real life. This has a lot of drape, but I think it would be perfect for a Nico and a nice color for spring and summer as well. Does anybody remember poet blouses? They were kind of like the big loose flowy blouses with like a ruffle on the front. I remember being like 13 years old and begging my mother to make me one of those tops. And then I think she did, and then I never wore it because I didn't like the way that it looked on me. But at any rate, that style is back. And so the pattern that I have for you is Butterick 6814 View C, and that comes in sizes 8 to 24. And I think that View C is the most 90s inspired. It has like a little elastic or gathers at the wrist, and then it has a big open cuff. I think that's most similar to the styles that I remember from the 90s. And instead of white, I've chosen this fabric from my stash that is a rayon challis that I got from fabric.com, and it's this rust color. It's very, very soft and drapey, and it would look beautiful with that ruffle. And I don't remember why I didn't like that style back in the 90s, but I think that if I made it this time around, I might like it a little bit more. The next one I have for you is Simplicity 8927. It's a Mimi G pattern that is separate, so I'm specifically going to talk about the top. It comes in sizes 6 to 24. And once again, when I was scrolling through different 90s inspired fashion, another silhouette I was seeing over and over again was like the strappy tank tops with the button front. And so this particular version ties at the waist, and I think that's really cute. It'd be perfect for summer. And for out of my stash, I pulled this Ribneck piece of washed cotton. I got this in a needle sharp box, and I ended up making a dress out of it, but there's a substantial piece left over, and I think that that would make a really cute basic white tie front shirt that you could wear all summer long and wear it with high-waisted pants and skirts, and I think it's really, really adorable. So for bottoms, I'm gonna go with bootcut jeans. I think I've spoken in a video recently of how I've rediscovered flare in bootcut jeans and pants, and I just really love that silhouette on me. I'm very, very short and I have short legs. So anything that can make my legs appear longer is a bonus in my opinion. So I have chosen this Mind the Maker denim. It's the same as the black one, it's just in a different color. It's this dark indigo wash. And the pattern that I've chosen is the So Over It Ultimate Jeans. It has several different leg shapes, but it does come with a boot cut. It's very high-waisted, and I think that it would make a perfect 90s inspired jean, but it would look modern today as well. So the shacket or shirt jacket is incredibly popular right now and very, very grunge inspired. So I pulled this cotton flannel plaid that I got from Joann Fabrics out of my stash, and I've been meaning to make a shirt jacket out of this. And the pattern that I've chosen for this one is Simplicity 9388. That comes in sizes extra small up to 2XL, and it is a unisex pattern. I would make the mid-length version because I think it's the most similar to a plaid shirt from the 90s. And I just remember wearing something like this and tying it around your waist with jean shorts. It kind of brings me back, but I think it's also a very modern silhouette that is super on trend today as well. Next up is a new pattern that was just released a few weeks ago. This is the Style Arc Joy Woven Vest. It comes in sizes 4 to 30. And for my fabric, I pulled out this remnant piece of brown wool gabardine from Fabric Mart that has been in my stash for a very long time. I had made a skirt out of this, and I don't have that skirt anymore, but I have just enough of it left, I think, that I could make a vest. And vests are so on trend right now, but it's also very Meg Ryan era. And I think that it's really popular both back then and right now to wear the vest without a top underneath. But I think in the modeled photos, they also are just styling it in a very 90s way with a little tight-fitting t-shirt. And I think either way it would be super cute. And a vest is perfect for spring and summer as a light layering piece that's not going to get too hot. And finally, I have my skirt suit set inspired by the movie Clueless. I really love that movie. I've seen it so many times, and my husband will sometimes put it on at night when we go to bed in order to fall asleep to it. But every time he puts it on, I end up staying up and watching the whole movie because I just really like that movie. Anyway, the classic look in that movie is Cher and Dion in their plaid skirt suits with the little pleated skirt and the cropped blazer. And to be honest with you, that's probably not a look that I would wear today, but I found a way that I could kind of tone it down, and I think that I could make it work for me. So I have this pinstripe wool suiting. This is actually a wool blend that I got from Fabric Mart. It is still a pattern to it, but the darker color, it's just a lot more subtle and I think more suitable for my life. And I've pulled two different patterns that I think would work to make this suit. The first one is McCall's 8155. It comes in sizes 8 to 32, and it is a cropped blazer. So I think there's just one button at the waist, and otherwise it looks very much like the blazer that Cher wore in the movie. And then for the skirt, I have McCall's 8248, and it comes in a variety of lengths, but I'm specifically pointing to the mini skirt, which is a cute little classic pleated mini skirt. That one comes in sizes 6 to 24, and I think if you paired them together, it would make a very, very Clueless-like set. And you could go for the bright plaid if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I would probably make it more out of a fabric like this, and quite honestly, I'd be more likely to wear them separates. As separates rather than as a matching set, but I do think that the matching set would be amazing, and you just put it on with some tall white socks and you could bring out your inner Cher. So that wraps up Shop My Stash 90s edition. If you enjoyed this one, I'm going to go ahead and link part 1 so you can go back and watch it in case you missed it. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate that you take time out of your day to watch my videos, and I will see you next time.